recording me anyway. You've got everything on camera.
Yeah, no, I'm just minding my business. Why?
Okay. No, I just wondered what you're recording in this area. Is that your friend across the road as well? You don't know?
Could you identify, please?
Pardon?
Do you mind identifying yourself?
1815. You can see my shoulder number. So you're just standing outside the station recording. You got a drone going on above my head as well.
Yeah.
You don't seem very talkative for someone who's got a lot of camera equipment.
Why? The camera don't talk, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Anything I can do for you?
No, I just wondering why you're recording the police station.
Just felt like doing it.
Oh, that's nice.
Are you recording me?
Yeah, of course I am.
You let me know.
Everyone who I'm speaking to.
You let me know next time.
I did when I first started the conversation.
E B E R K S.
I heard it with my head. And since we're coming around the car. I had the drinks about this right now. Pardon? I don't know, they will hang around for about, we go about 10 minutes and then we'll come back and we'll
Oh, everything okay?
Yeah. Everything all right?
Yeah, not bad.
You want to drive?
Yeah.
You do know the regulations about flying a drone, don't you?
Yeah.
Cool. Not above a certain height, not over a public place.
No, you can fly over public places.
Not where people are walking.
And there's not a height restriction either.
I think you might find there is. Go on.
No, there isn't.
All right, guys, this one starts with something as simple as a drone flight outside Cutton Police Station, but the encounter quickly turns into a fascinating test of authority and accountability. The first officer approaches with questions, yet the bigger issue is whether those questions actually come with any legal power to compel answers. What makes this encounter especially interesting is that it doesn't follow the usual path. Instead of immediately turning into a confrontation or ending in an arrest, the situation gradually moves towards something much more productive, a genuine conversation. But pay close attention to the officer's opening moments, because within just a few words, he may reveal exactly how he views the situation and what he believes his authority allows him to do.
He said that there's a flight restriction and that you shouldn't fly over people. Do you mind identifying yourself?
Yeah, 822-576.
And what's your name?
Basically, that's the Road Traffic Policing Command. So, Transport Team 3 at Croydon Police Station.
Okay.
What do you want to know that from?
I feel like I recognise you from a YouTube channel, is that right? I feel like I might have seen you somewhere.
Not me, no, I don't think it's me.
Oh.
What's your name?
My name?
Yeah.
Pinnock.
Pinnock. Oh. So why are you stood outside the police station?
So I haven't got anything better to do.
Really?
Why you stood out here?
I was just wondering what you were doing, filming.
I can't really hear you too well.
Can't you?
No, because you've got to speak up a bit.
If someone was recording with a drone outside your house, do you think you'd go and ask what they were doing?
Yeah, go on.
Probably, yeah.
No, it wouldn't bother me, no.
What if the drone was like above your garden? It wouldn't bother you, but it would bother me.
So is this your gut? Do you live here?
No, but I work here, as you can probably tell.
I'm just confused about what the actual problem is.
I don't really understand your question.
I'm confused as well. What are you doing here? Like flying a drone up.
Could you identify yourself, please? Would you identify yourself?
It's here.
It's not professional, is it?
Well, it is.
Your name, collar number. What if I can't read?
I'm confused as well. What you guys doing here? That's confused as.
We're good. We just want to fly the drone. If we could be left alone, that would be great. Is that okay?
All right, guys, this is where the encounter starts exposing the difference between asking a question and having the legal power to require an answer. The officer raises concerns about the drone's height, but the discussion quickly shifts toward what rules actually govern drone operations over public land. At the same time, the repeated requests for identification create another important distinction. If an officer is simply asking for information, that's very different from demonstrating a specific legal power to compel it. The auditor recognizes that distinction immediately and keeps bringing the conversation back to one basic question. What authority actually requires him to answer? This is what makes the exchange so interesting. Instead of relying on confidence or assumptions, the discussion starts turning toward the actual rules and the limits of police authority. And once those distinctions become clear, the officer's position becomes much harder to maintain without a specific legal basis.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
Hey, don't try not to say my name in public, yeah?
Why's that?
Data protection. Doesn't apply to you, no?
Data protection does, but talking you by your name.
Yeah, because it's my personal info, isn't it? And we're in a public place, so you just breach GDPR. Are we happy with that?
Have you got a licence for the drone? Have you got a licence for the drone?
Say again, mate. I can't hear you, mate. You got to come in and speak a bit louder. Can't hear you, mate.
Do you have a
I
licence?
can't hear you, mate.
Listen instead of speaking over him, man.
Do you have a licence for the drone?
Yeah.
Can I see the licence?
No.
Why's that?
Don't need to show it to you, do I?
Well, you do, because
No, I
it's
don't.
under the Civil Aviation Authority, you require
A license or an operator ID?
All right, guys, this is where the auditor's argument hits a snag. The GDPR point is overstated. The mere fact that someone's name is mentioned or spoken in a public setting does not automatically mean data protection law has been breached. That distinction matters because UK GDPR rules generally concern how personal data is processed, rather than creating a blanket rule that prevents officers from saying or asking for someone's name during an encounter. However, the conversation then moves into a much more legitimate question surrounding the drone operator ID and what information, if any, the operator is legally required to provide. And that's an important distinction. One argument may be legally weak, while the next question can still have genuine merit. Knowing where the law actually applies and admitting when an argument goes too far is what keeps this kind of...
Are you okay?
What are you up to?
Pardon?
What are you up to?
Just doing a little documentary, that's all.
On what, mate?
Pardon?
On what?
Just public interest.
Right. It's fair enough you're filming our cars coming out, but you're filming people coming out in personal cars. What's that for?
I haven't filmed any personal cars.
You've been seen on the cameras doing it.
So you can say for 100% on this video I've got someone's personal car, have you?
That's the information we've just been passed, that's why we've come to speak to you now.
Right, I'm telling you, I've been told you've been given wrong information. So
Right, you've been told I've been given wrong information.
no, you've been given wrong information.
Okay,
You've been told wrong information.
What's your name, mate?
I don't need to give a name.
Well, you do.
Under what law?
I'm not getting involved in all this, you're not going to get a rise out of me. I'm bothered about my colleagues. Obviously, this is a police station.
Right, and I'm bothered about my human rights.
Right, so what? You're coming here, if you're on a card, why? As in, what human right is this that you're bothered about by coming to a police station and watching the vehicles come out? It's quite intimidating so that people aren't leaving the camp.
Obviously, I've not broken any laws and filming from a public place.
That's correct.
So
Yeah, we just want to know the reason why.
obviously, I've just given that officer the reason why.
You haven't actually given a reason. You've just said my human rights.
I don't need to give a reason to why I'm filming.
All right, guys, this encounter started with officers questioning UK audits about filming private vehicles. But when that claim is challenged, the focus quickly shifts towards something much more direct, his identity. Instead of simply handing over his name, UK audits asked the officers to explain what specific legal power would actually require him to provide it. That question puts the officers in a difficult position because the conversation moves from a simple request for information to the much more important distinction between asking for something and having lawful authority to compel it. The discussion then takes another turn when the auditor points to his right to record. One officer questions exactly what human right he is referring to, while another describes the filming as intimidating. But under Article 10 of the Human Rights Act 1998, freedom of expression is protected, including receiving and communicating information, subject to lawful restrictions in appropriate circumstances. That makes this exchange particularly interesting. The real issue isn't simply whether the officers dislike being filmed. It's whether the circumstances actually provide a lawful basis for restricting that activity. And as the conversation continues, the gap between personal discomfort, a request, and an enforceable legal requirement becomes impossible to ignore.
What's the reason why you've stopped?
Because of you.
Right. What's your name and badge number, please?
15213. That's it.
15 what?
213.
And yours, sorry?
17652.
Okay. Can I help you?
Yes, I just want to know why you're filming private cars coming out of a police station.
I'm not going to answer that question.
You know, because that might cause harassment. Well, I'm not stressed to that person as to why a person with a huddle filming people coming out of the place of work
Right, have I used threatening words or behaviour?
Just by your demeanour.
My demeanour?
And you're filming them as they're coming out in the private cars.
Right, okay, this is interesting. Yeah, okay. So I'm not going to answer any more of your questions now. Pardon?
Why is it interesting?
Could you telling me it's section 5 public order? You're not trying to be civil, you're trying to incriminate me.
Not at all. I've not said mention anything about a public order offence. Where's that come out of my mouth?
So harassment, alarm and distress, what does that fall under then?
Did I mention a public order?
You said someone feels harassed, alarm and distress. So
The officer then attempts to frame UK Audit's filming as something connected to harassment, alarm, or distress, but never clearly identifies a specific offense he believes has been committed. The discussion appears to move towards Section 5 of the Public Order Act 1986, which concerns threatening or abusive words or behavior. Yet when UK Audits asks what threatening conduct he has actually displayed, the officer points more generally to his demeanor rather than identifying specific behavior. UK Audits challenges that explanation, only for the officer to then insist that he never said it was a public order offense, creating an obvious contradiction in the exchange. The situation becomes even more interesting when another officer suggests UK Audits is only there to provoke a reaction, despite the fact that the officers themselves arrived, approached him, initiated the questioning, and continued engaging with him. Instead of backing away from the discussion, UK Audits calmly challenges the claims being made, forcing the officers to explain whether they're dealing with an actual offense or simply reacting to someone exercising a lawful right to record in public.
it's not at all. You don't know the reasons to why I'm here.
I'm not.
You're assuming.
Film me all day long at work. I don't care. But when you're filming our colleagues coming out in their own personal cars, that's why we're here. That's why we're talking to you.
And that's not a criminal offence. And you don't know for certain I have done that.
Well,
and if I have, there's no law to say that I can't.
I'm not saying there is, but when it's a place of work where police officers work, and we're obviously a target for certain people, terrorists and all that kind of thing.
So do you suspect me of being a terrorist?
Oh, come on. You're not going to get... I know you've got a script that you follow.
I follow a script?
We watch these videos yourself. We watch them.
So why did you stop then?
Because we've been asked to come and see what you're doing. Because one of our colleagues has gone out, off duty, leaving work.
Right.
You filmed her going out.
And is that a criminal offence?
You stood here with your thing, recording, weren't coming saying, why are you doing that?
Right, I don't need to answer your questions.
What's your name?
I'm not going to give my name. I'm not broken no law, so...
How long do you plan on staying here doing this today?
As long as it takes me to finish my documentary.
Right. What's your documentary about?
I've told you that's nothing to do with you.
Well, it is because you're filming us at our place of work coming out.
You've stopped to me, I wasn't filming you. You stopped at your car and got out to your car and started talking to me. I didn't come over to you.
The auditor repeatedly brings the conversation back to the point the officers seem unwilling to address. Recording from a public place is not by itself an offense, and the fact that officers may not want their personal vehicles appearing in footage does not automatically give those vehicles special legal protection from being filmed. When that argument fails to move the encounter forward, the familiar reference to terrorism enters the conversation, with the officer suggesting that police can be potential targets and seemingly using that possibility to justify suspicion towards someone holding a camera. Yet official guidance recognizes that photography in a public place, on its own, is not sufficient grounds for a terrorism-related stop. The situation becomes even more difficult to reconcile when the officer admits that he's watched similar auditing videos before, because that familiarity should make clear that recording police buildings and vehicles from public locations does not automatically make the activity unlawful.
You look very annoyed.
I just think it's quite, I don't know, bizarre that people like yourself come and do these videos.
I just think it's bizarre that obviously you come out with all your accusations. You told me someone's harassed, alarm and distress. Then this gentleman here tells me it's not a section 5, so I'd love to know what section it is.
Nobody mentioned section 5, nobody's mentioned an offence, have they?
You just said someone was...
It could cause that.
No, you told me someone has...
No, not at all. Otherwise, we'd be arresting you for that offence, wouldn't we?
You would be arresting me. For what offence?
For section 5 public order offence.
Right, did he use threatening words or behaviour?
Have we said you've committed a section 5 public
Yeah,
order
that's what you was trying to
Have we
insinuate.
tried to say that?
You was trying to tell me...
I'm trying to explain to you, but you keep interrupting me.
Go on
Have
then.
we said to you you've committed a section 5 public order offence?
Yeah.
When?
When you first got out, you told me... You told me one of your colleagues have left in a personal vehicle and has rang you, and that's the reason why you're here. And they feel harassed, alarm and distressed, and it was my demeanour.
It's been recorded, has it?
Yeah.
Okay, I suggest you rewind that video.
Yeah, I will do, yeah. I'll play it right back, yeah.
I suggest you do, because nobody's mentioned that you're under arrest for a offence of Section 5 public order.
This is where the officer's explanation starts to become increasingly difficult to follow. Earlier, he had referred to colleagues experiencing harassment, alarm, or distress using language closely associated with the Public Order Act 1986. Yet, when the auditor challenges him to explain the legal basis, the officer distances himself from the idea that he was accusing him of committing any offense. That raises a straightforward question. If no offense was actually being alleged and no specific legal power was being relied upon, what was the basis for approaching and confronting in the first place? An officer cannot rely on language that sounds like a criminal allegation to justify an intervention, and then abandon that position as soon as the underlying law is questioned. If the real issue was simply that a colleague did not appreciate being recorded, that may explain their personal objection, but it does not by itself establish reasonable suspicion.
There was harassed, alarm and distress.
That could cause a person harassment, alarm or distress.
So me filming
Has
can
anybody
cause...
reported that?
So from me
twisting my
filming...
words.
I'm not twisting
You
it.
are.
I'm not.
You are.
So tell me what I've twisted.
You twist my words.
Why, what did I twist?
You said to me that I've accused you of public order offence.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So what does harassment, alarm and distress come under?
At what point did I say you have committed an offence under the Public Order Act? At what point? Not at all.
Can you answer my question then?
No, you answer my question.
Answer my question.
No, you answer my question.
I don't need to answer your
I don't
questions.
have to answer your question.
Right, get back in your car and drive off
I
then.
will do in a minute.
See ya.
Yeah, no problems at all.
Take care.
No problems at all.
Take care.
I
Have a
understand
good
what you're
day.
doing and why you do it.
And you can't answer the question, can you?
Get your views and whatnot on YouTube or whatever it is. I don't know what the pathetic thing is, but we've come out, we've asked you for your details, because we're going to have officers coming in and out, whether they're on duty or off duty all day, and we might be getting several calls saying there's some guy dressed in dark clothing, hood up, filming us coming out. All I'm asking you is how long you're going to be here so we can let people know.
I don't need to answer that.
Because you're telling me you're not of any concern to us, you're not a danger to us or anything, so if I let them know that all you're doing is making your own little documentary, they don't need to be concerned.
I've already told you that.
I'm asking you how long you're going to be here.
And I don't need to answer
Work
that.
together with you so that you're not, every time a police car comes out, they don't stop and speak to you, because that is going to obviously irritate your documentary, isn't it? Or is your documentary you want to get?
The first officer no longer appears to be investigating a specific issue, and instead seems focused on defending the position he has already taken. He repeatedly insists that he never accused the auditor of committing an offense, but that only makes the purpose of the encounter harder to understand. If there was no identified offense, no stated suspicion, and no clearly explained legal power being exercised, then there is little apparent basis for prolonging the confrontation. The second officer then takes a different approach, suggesting that the auditor should simply provide his details so other officers are less likely to stop him in the future. On the surface, that may sound like a practical solution, but there is no general requirement to identify yourself merely to make future police interactions more convenient. Providing personal information is not a pass that guarantees someone will avoid questioning later. If another officer encounters him in the future, that officer would still need to justify whatever action they take based on the circumstances at that particular time.
Can I answer your questions? So, what does harassment, alarm and distress come under?
Going back to that.
Yeah.
Section 5 Public Order Act. You know exactly what it is. Nobody's accused you of it. Otherwise...
When you first come out, that's what you said.
No.
Me filming...
Rewind it.
Me filming
No.
cannot cause someone to feel
Rewind it
harassed,
without
alarm and
editing
distressed.
it. And listen to what you said.
How?
To what you said.
Because we're a target for legitimate terrorists, so I'm not saying that's what you're from, whatever, before you start accusing me of that, but it's a legitimate thing for us to be a target of. So if you're filming, how do we know that you're not passing that on? That could be then committing an offence. We'll seize your phone and can use it as evidence and things if we were going to go down that route, wouldn't we?
You've already done it once, yeah? Right. I've been released without charge.
Right, see, you're answering the question.
No, I've been released without charge because you know you've not got a leg to stand on. That's why you're driving off.
I'm not trying to get
You've already done it once, and the officers are going to be bring accountable for their actions. So if you want to do that, and you think you need a court order, to delete my footage.
I don't want to delete your footage.
For you to delete it or to stop me filming, you need a court order.
You crack on. I can't wait to watch YouTube later.
Yeah, have a good day. You'll be famous. Yeah, good luck.
The officer then brings terrorism back into conversation, suggesting that the auditor could be recording police vehicles with the intention of passing the footage to terrorists, and even raising the possibility that his phone could be seized as evidence. But evidence of what offense? Once again, no specific offense has been identified. The fact that police officers may be potential targets does not automatically turn everyone recording them into part of some hypothetical terrorist operation. Any suspicion should be grounded in the person's actual conduct and the circumstances in front of the officer, rather than an imagined possibility about what might happen to the footage later. Section 43 of the Terrorism Act 2000 also involves a requirement for reasonable suspicion that a person is a terrorist before the associated search power can be used. And while police may have seizure powers in appropriate circumstances, those powers still require their own lawful basis. Simply mentioning terrorism does not create one.
Like, do something like progressive with your life rather than just...
And what do you do? What do you do that's progressive?
What's our job? What's our role?
Being corrupt, that's what I see you as.
Okay. So if we're corrupt and I don't know, maybe you don't like us or you're intimidated by us, why
You've just tried to incriminate me when you first got out of the car.
How?
Telling me that I caused someone harassment, alarmment and distress.
He didn't say that.
He didn't say that.
He said you could call someone. If you'd have called someone that,
he said,
I think we'd been dealing with it in a different way.
You said you stopped because someone had reported me filming outside, and they feel harassed, alarmed and distressed.
No. Mate, when you go home, you edit your little video.
Okay.
Listen to that part.
Yeah, I'll listen to it. I'll listen to it all.
Yeah, without editing. Be honest with yourself.
I will be honest. Don't you worry. There'll be no cuts out of this.
Hope you got what you want. What's your site called so we can have a little look?
I'm not going to answer that.
See.
Have a good day, sir.
Don't be surprised if police keep stopping to speak to you because it is obviously a bit of a worry. We have asked you to say how long you're going to be and we can pass that on and then you won't get stopped. But...
Stay for as long as I like.
Oh, crack on. Right on, something.
After moving through allegations involving harassment, terrorism, requests for personal details, and even the possibility of taking the auditor's phone, the officer eventually returns the vehicle without identifying a specific offense, rather than simply explaining a clear legal basis for the intervention. The exchange becomes personal when the officer tells him to do something productive with his life. But that's not a legal explanation. It comes across as frustration after the earlier arguments failed to establish a clear reason for intervention. Professional policing should not require personal remarks simply because an officer has been unable to persuade someone to stop an activity that has not been shown to be unlawful. More importantly, look at where the encounter actually ends. There is no arrest, no search, no seizure, and no instruction requiring the auditor to leave. Throughout the interaction, increasingly serious possibilities are raised about what the filming might represent, yet none of those concerns develop into the level of suspicion apparently needed to justify the powers being discussed. Eventually, after all the questioning and back and forth, the officers return to their vehicle and leave. The auditor has not provided his details, continues recording, and no specific law prohibiting the activity has been established during the encounter. That outcome puts the entire situation into perspective. Despite repeated attempts to portray ordinary filming as potentially suspicious or problematic, the officers ultimately leave without establishing a clear legal restriction that applies to what was happening. And once the legal arguments failed to produce an answer, what remained was simply the officer's personal view of the situation.